Did I do a February TBR? Yeah, I did. Did I read everything that I promised you I would? Absolutely not. Am I sorry about it? No, not at all, and I'll tell you why. I actually ended up having an excellent reading month, even though I shuffled a few things around, but don't worry. We got a few books in there. So full disclosure, I did intend on reading everything that I put in my TBR from last month, especially considering it's the first one I've ever done. So right out the gates, I've lied to you. I've let you down, and I deserve to be punished for that. But hear me out, don't punish me. I did have a good reading month, so let's talk about it right now. So what I was meant to read was The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kong, which I did. Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which I didn't. But, spoiler alert, I have read it in March. So I missed out. Effectively, I just missed out in February. But I have read it. Next, I was meant to read Vicious by V.e Schwab, and I've got an interesting story about that one. And last, I was meant to read Grave Peril by Jim Butcher, the third book in the Dresden Files, which I did. So we did pretty well, but let's get into it. Let's talk about them. So first up, I read The Dragon Republic, which is the second book in the Poppy Wars series, and man, oh man, was that a phenomenal read. I absolutely loved this follow-up. We got more of our characters, we got more of our side characters, we got more of our villain. It was just an awesome follow-up to an already awesome series that I'm absolutely loving, and I'm waiting for The Burning God, the third book in the series, except I haven't received it yet. It's been on order for 2 months so far. So you better believe that when that comes in, I'm going to read it almost immediately. Something else I loved about this book is the magic system. I already loved it from the Poppy War. We're learning it as we go. I still don't know everything about it, but it doesn't matter because we're getting more and more and more of a glimpse, more and more use, and it is just such a fun magic system. I absolutely love it. The magic system really resembles Avatar: The Last Airbender. So if you enjoy that magic, there's no doubt you're going to love the magic in the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic, and I'm sure the Burning God as well. But before I move on, if you do plan to read this book, first of all, watch my full review. I already did one on this channel, and just know that this book be heavy. There are heavy themes. This is a really deep, dark, depressing book at times, and there's just some of the heaviest, most graphic scenes and themes that I've read, but totally worth it if you can handle it. All right, next up, I was meant to read Legendborn by Tracy Dion, and like I said, I have read it. I just didn't fit it into February, but don't worry, have no fear. I'm gonna do a full review in the coming days, and I'll put it in my March video as well. Now, next is a book that I switched out, and if you ask me, it was for good reason, and that was that I was supposed to read V.e Schwab's Vicious. I instead read V.e Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and man, am I happy that I switched it up, because this was a really surprising read for me. Now, the reason I switched these books out is because I saw The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue all over my TikTok. It was seriously almost every video on my For You page for a while, and I'm so glad it was because I jumped on the hype train, I jumped on the bandwagon, I bought the book, I read it in like 2 or 3 days, and I couldn't put it down. It was so profound. It was so beautifully written. The story was so emotional and so introspective, and it forced me to really look at my own life and what's important to me and who are important to me. This was a phenomenal read. I recommend this to just about anyone. I've given it to my mother. She's about to read it soon. I cannot wait to hear what she thinks about it as well. 5 stars, incredible book. Please go pick up that book because you will not regret it. And I also did a full review on this channel, so you can check that out if you're interested in hearing all my thoughts. And don't worry, all my reviews are spoiler-free unless they say otherwise. All right, next up, I read Grave Peril by Jim Butcher, the third book in the Dresden Files series. And I don't have a lot to say about this one other than it was a really good entry. This story is improving like everyone always says that it does. I loved that in this book we got a little bit more of the Never Never, which is the magical world that our character can connect with, but not everybody in the world can see it. And that was really, really fun, a really good exploration. This is a really high potential series for me. It ticks so many of my boxes. Harry Dresden as a character is so enthralling, so engaging. He's so morally good, and that forces him to make decisions that are definitely shaky at best. And it just gets him into the stickiest situations, and I'm really enjoying it. All right, ladies and gents, if you want to see more from me, please do subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you as a part of the team. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!